My seat. What's happening? It's my seat. Okay. That's better. No, it's not. Hello, everyone. What was I planning on saying? It's a new day, and we have a boba buddy to make. If you watched my last video, you know that I asked the knitting gods. I let my kid pick which one I made, and she picked Boba Buddy. In the last video, we made our first of 3 rectangles. Part 1 is very beginner friendly. I show you how to make a slip knot, how to knit, how to switch colors, how to cast off. So hopefully it was very educational, or at least it was a learning experience. I had to teach. I had to make sure that the children know how to knit and stuff. So since in part 1 I went into so much detail, in part 2 I'm not going to go into how to knit and all of that. We'll be knitting our 2 other rectangles we need. I will have a little section for the assembly, and that will be when we get all 3 of our rectangles and we will assemble Boba Buddy. If you need to know how to knit or you're confused about anything, I do have plenty of other videos, or you can reference part 1. So let's get into it. Okay, let's look back at our instructions. So since we've already made rectangle number 1, we're going to start with rectangle number 2 today. The instructions say make a slip knot with a 12-inch tail and cast on 10 stitches. Then knit about 8 rows until you have a rectangle that is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 and cast off. Okay, so this is all of the green yarn that I have left. Okay, a 12-inch tail. And make my slip knot. Okay, now it says for us to cast on 10 stitches. Okay, here is our 10 stitches cast on. We knit about 8 rows, or until we have a rectangle that is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, so as you can see, we do not have enough green. That is my fault. I should have paid attention to how much yarn we were given and what the other colors of the rectangles were going to be before I made my pattern with our first rectangle. I have a lot of editing to do. I have to go in part 1 and alert the children. Since we are only making a green rectangle and a white rectangle, I'm going to use some of this purple yarn we have left. I'm going to add it on to this. Okay, I've knitted some. Let's measure it and see where we're at. We're right at 2 1/4 inches. And this is all the yarn I have left. And I don't think that's enough for me to cast off. I think I'm going to go ahead and tie on a little bit of the white that I have left. Okay, so I tied on my white. I'm only going to cast off with the white, so hopefully we won't use too much of it. Instructions for rectangle number 2 says make a slip knot with a 20-inch tail and cast on 14 stitches, knit about 18 rows until you have a rectangle that is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4 and cast off. Okay, now it is time to make our white rectangle. Let's measure our tail. They want us to have a 20-inch tail. All right, now at our roundabout 20-inch mark, we're going to go ahead and make our slip knot.
Dinosaur. I'm a big dinosaur.
Obviously, my body was in shock because there was a dinosaur behind me because I forgot to tell you that we were supposed to cast on 14 stitches. Okay, here is our 14 stitches cast on. Here's a little behind the scenes footage. This is what it's like when I'm just trying to get a piece knitted before I have another section to film and all of the shenanigans that's going on behind me. Okay, so I have knitted our white rectangle per our instructions. It should be 4¼ inches long. I'm basically like 3¼ inches wide, and I'm only at 2½ inches long, and I pretty much need to cast off because this is all the yarn that I have left. So per the instructions, our white one was supposed to be longer, but I have firsthand experience that if your measurements aren't exact, you can still make a very cute piece, and that is what we are about to do. With the yarn needle, stitch the big rectangle along the side to form a tube. Position the knitting so that the solid stripes are inside, so our pretty side on the inside. All right, first things first, we are going to make sure that our pretty side is on the inside. So to make our tube, we will fold it over like this, pretty side inside, peekaboo, and rough side outside. Okay, we need our yarn needle. Put the short side together and stitch it up. Now to tie off all that sewing, I'm going to insert my yarn needle like I'm sewing, but I'm not going to pull it all the way through. I'm going to hold on to this little loop and put my yarn needle through it to create a knot. Then I just pull the tail to tighten. Now we have created a tube and it is secure. Next, we place the mint square, or, also striped, whatever, on the bottom of the tube and stitch it onto the tube with the mint yarn. Make sure to follow the round shape of the tube. Don't worry about the corners, they will be hidden in the next step. So obviously sewing a flat square onto a tube is going to be kind of awkward at first. So I'm finding it easiest to lay it on the table and just kind of rotate it as I need to. And then once you get a couple of stitches done, they will be secured together and you will be able to pick up the piece and sew a little bit easier. I am sewing these two pieces together with their tails. That sounds so weird. But I just am sewing, and then once I start to run out of some yarn, I will tie it off and then pick up another tail and start sewing again. And if I have a tail that's not in the right spot, I just weave it through to where it's in a better place and then continue sewing. Okay, so we sewed our long rectangle into a tube, and then we took that tube and we sewed it on to this rectangle that we made. So this is our bottom rectangle that we made, and I sewed the tube really close up here to the green because I wanted to have one part of the boba cup that was green in the front, which did give me a lot of room back here. So I also have all of these tails left after finishing sewing. I was able to sew this up just with the tails from the pieces, so that's good. I didn't have to go into any yarn reserves. Now we flip the tube inside out. Now the corners of the square are inside and the nice solid stripes are on the outside. It actually ended up being green all the way around. I guess because of the way that I sewed it, it kind of tucked itself in a little bit. It didn't matter that our bottom is 3 different colors. Take the white rectangle and fold it in half along the long side and stitch the 2 sides closed with white yarn. Look at the white piece and make sure the most attractive seams are on the outside of your piece. So it says to look at your piece and make sure your most attractive seams are on the outside. So this is a little pointed. So I am gonna flip mine inside out. Put the stuffing into the tube and place the white cap on top. Stitch around the white cap onto the top of the tube along the second row of knitting. This will create a lip around the white cap. So I'm just gonna fluff it up some first. Okay, so I had to tie on this white piece of yarn to be able to sew with, and I went ahead and have it where it's coming out of the white cap at about the second row. The first couple stitches are always going to be awkward because you're like trying to keep your piece together, but after your first couple of stitches, it is holding itself together somewhat, it becomes easier. So I'm going to fold this lip in and sew it. So I'm going to push through here, and then I'm going to push it out this bottom corner right there. And now when I go into the purple up here, it should fold that corner in pretty decently. Yep. As I'm looking at it, I think I actually want his body to be a little wider. I want him to be a little chunkier. He's kind of chunky in our picture on the box, and I think he looks cute. So I'm gonna push some more stuffing in here. My power went off a second ago, and I didn't realize it messed with my lights. Oh no. I'm gonna go ahead and tie this off. So to tie off, I'm just gonna go up under here, under one of these stitches I just made. I'm gonna go one more time. I'm gonna give myself this loop like this. And then I'm gonna go through this loop with my yarn needle and pull. I'm gonna tie this in a knot one more time to make sure, because I get scared. Okay, so that's 2 knots. And then to hide my yarn, I'm just gonna like push it all the way through the entire piece like that. And then I'll cut it close to down here. And then the tail will bounce back inside my piece. I don't think I like this little lip going on right there, so I'm gonna tuck it up and sew it. Then we just stick on our eye and mouth stickers, stick on the boba, then we twist 2 pipe cleaners together to form the straw, insert into the top of the white cap, push into the stuffing to the desired straw height, and bam, Boba Buddy. Rotate your piece around and find the side that you think you want to be the front, where you think you want the face to go. I like looking at either your instructions or the box and trying to replicate the proportions of the face that you see. So I have it close by. Okay, so I think this is where I want to put them. She keeps wanting to roll to one side. That's okay, you do your thing. We'll start with this eye. No, power! I'm so close. Why do you keep going out? This is ridiculous. This is the worst house ever. Okay. What? Oh, you know, that does make sense. We should just move since the power keeps going in and out. Now that I've decided where I want the face to be, I'm going to pull the back off the sticker and put it on my yarn needle first. That way I can make sure it's where I want it before I push it down. Okay, there's her face. Now it's time to put the little tapiocas on. Hold on, I gotta pick us up. Okay. Yay! Do you like the way they look?
Yeah.
Do you think it looks cute?
Yes.
Okay, very good job.
Mom, we got these.
Yeah, that is the pipe cleaners. So now it's time to put the little straw in, and here's our 2 pipe cleaner pieces. And let me show you. We want them to still be in one straight piece, so we're going to put them next to each other like this.
Okay.
And then we're going to twist them around each other.
Okay, how I do it?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Mom.
She looks so cute.
Yes.
Mwah. Thank you for helping me.
You're welcome.
Okay, so nobody tell my baby. I'm going to fix these little pipe cleaners a little bit. She did do a very good job. And now we can find a little spot up here to push it. You can always get your knitting needle and kind of figure out where you want it to be first. So now I'm just going to kind of... That stretched out a little spot for me to put my straw. And here is our finished Boba Buddy. She did turn out so cute. My baby helped me put the little bobas on. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that you were able to knit something cute that you're really proud of. And congratulations to you for actually trying to pick up a new skill. Yay. Good job, you. You have an itty bitty knit kit that you want me to do next, let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.